Hello, it's me. Hi. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay. I'm here late as shit, but we're gonna get some more progress done. Hopefully. Um, how's it going? Had a long day of staying in bed and then watching Naruto. Ah, got a couple people on YouTube. Hello to you all. One person saying I got banned from a stream because I was correcting a person. Uh, that sounds awful. Still sick? No. Well, maybe. Oops. I think, yeah, I fucked up my model a bit. Hold up. There we go. Um, maybe. We'll find out. Probably later tonight after the stream's over. Um, I certainly found out last night towards the end of the stream. I thought I was through the woods. Piled some shit into my stomach that I really shouldn't have. And today, I did pretty good all day. And then I piled some shit in my stomach that I probably shouldn't have. So I'm probably going to regret it. But we'll deal with that. And yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be banning anybody for correcting anybody. At least, not in that loose of a circumstance. I'm sure there is a circumstance where I would do that. If it was like someone was being a real asshole, but I don't know. I also don't currently have any control of the YouTube chat. I can have control. I just don't have immediate control. So like if something's gonna have to happen, I'm gonna have to open up the chat. I don't think shit is supposed to go. Yeah. Well, too much of it is coming out. Cutscene.
Sid, you know Day-affected Nethicite brought down the Leviathan. How can you persist in this folly?
And you've come here to stop me. I'd fain see you try.
Consider your bones, old man. You're outmatched.
Pirates, scum of the skies. What brings you here?
Treasure. What else would a pirate want? We'll take the Dusk Shard.
You've come all this way for that trinket. I thought you were above this. What's that? The Princess of Dalmasca come to visit. She's not entirely without merit. A test of sorts for our princess?
You're a babbling fool.
A trial for a Shelia Banargin Dalmasca!
You lust for the stone's power, do you not?
Lend him not your ears, milady. He means to use you.
Little guy cutscene.
Manufactured nethicite, like Bergen.
How could you do this? How could you fall this far?
Yeah, I threatened to ban someone for that, but that was because we asked the conversation to stop. Fair enough. Who the fuck is he talking to? You know, like, he's a scientist, so I would think he has an earpiece or something, but I'm beginning to wonder if maybe he's just a little cuckoo. Oh, we're in zoom mode. Turn that off. I wish I could cast all of those things on me like that quickly. Let's try to get rid of these little things. They have reflect, so don't be casting spells on them. Okay, they don't seem to have XP?
Always hiding behind your toys. Pity if anything were to happen to them.
So they can die. We're wailing on them. Oh, we got 2 down. Come on. This isn't going quite good. They're killing us too fast. What are we supposed to do here? Do they still have reflect on them? They don't seem to. Alright, Fran. Is about to be dead again. Right?
Got a surprise for you.
I must believe.
Got a surprise for you. Got a surprise for you.
God. It's... Um... Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, we're starting using a lot of Phoenix Dance. Okay. Probably don't have a fucking laser on my ass. Where is he gone? Oh. Oh boy. Yeah, she needs to be charging herself up. Now we're moving. Well, let me not open my mouth quite yet. Alright. Managed to do it. He really was nothing without his machines.
Vena, you shouldn't have.
This creature. So this is your Vena.
Ashelia Benargan Dalmasca. Just how far will you go for power? Does your lust for Nethicite consume you? Am I right? I am, aren't I? A worthy daughter of the Dynast King. You would do well to go to Giruvegan. Who knows? You may receive a new stone for your trouble.
Your words mean nothing to me.
The reins of history back in the hands of man. I do make for Giruvegan. Give chase if you dare it.
Hate it when he does that.
Mayhaps you think me remiss, the Lady Ashe of Dalmasca? The Sky Pirate Rethus, at your employ.
Hell yeah.
The Imperial Senate, powerless to resist House Solidor's brutal purge, was dissolved. Vayne Solidor reigned supreme over the Empire. Though this upheaval shook the Imperial Bastion to its foundation, these developments were, to say the least, welcomed by her military. The authoritarian rule of the judges, in tandem with the impending threat of Rosarian invasion, served to foster camaraderie among its ranks. For our part, the Resistance mustered strength in the border skies, making ready for the task ahead. A war to decide the doom of Ivalice would soon be upon us.
I kept it concise this time, Andor. Thank you. As I understand it from walkthroughs, this is the final section of the game, And we're starting with a big boy cutscene. Garlands, nice.
All ships reporting in. They're breaking to begin ship-to-ship maneuvers against us.
All hands, full ahead flank.
We shall make ready to repel their attacks. Counter-air. Track them as though they were the enemy.
Counter-air, to your stations.
A dispatch from Naldoa Command, Excellency. The Sky Pirate has left Arcadian airspace. He makes for Balfonheim with the Lady Ash and her party.
It is good to know the lady still lives. But what of our bid for the stone?
With the stone or without, our resistance should prove an even match for the Imperial Army. These weeks of training have honed our edge.
I pray 'tis sharp enough.
They choose to supply the resistance, yet raise not a sword in aid. What city could do this?
A city of men without countries, pirates of the sea and of the sky. Few are they who would fain lay down their lives for a friend, let alone a king.
The Marquis. He is set on war?
The time approaches when he must make his position vis-a-vis the Empire clear. When he helped you off the Leviathan, he spited the judges full sore. He cannot sit in idleness and expect to avoid a reckoning. The Marquis shares my distaste for war. Yet, if it comes to it, he will show no quarter.
For the time being, we will continue to train the Resistance Army. Enough power on our side, and even Vayne may see the appeal of the treaty table.
Yet Vayne holds the Nethicite. What makes you think he would treat when he holds such power? Power enough to sink the Leviathan.
All the more reason for me to support your infiltration of the capital. You said it yourself. The Nethicite is a powerful weapon. I would have you acquire it for me.
I have not said I would give you the Midlight Shard.
If there is no stone, I would have to look elsewhere for aid.
Then you would ally with Rosaria.
As I must. Failure's not an option.
It's just what Vayne wants. He lures the Rosarians and the Resistance to the field, then crushes both with the Nethicite.
I think not. Cid has a stone. We grab it and smash it to pieces with the Sword of Kings. Vayne will be left holding nary a thing. Time is short. We follow Cid. He's heading towards Giruvegan.
Giruvegan.
It is told of in a song of my people. On the farthest shores of the River of Time, shrouded deep in the roiling mist, the Holy Land sleeps, Giruvegan. Who knows the paths, the way to its doors?
Then you seek the Yogg Defour. Deep within the jungle of Golmore, there is a corner of the Feywood where a mist storm surges and seethes.
Fucking jungle again.
Right.
Hate these fucking jungles.
Not coming with us? Forget your precious Nethicite already?
Cid's words rang hollow to me. I will follow another course.
Ah, another lead then, is it? You're well informed.
I could well say the same to you, pirate.
Hurry it up, or we'll leave without you.
Ah, Vaughn. I've had some of my men check on this Feywood. Best ask what they found.
Okay. Thanks for the help, brothers.
Fly first, ask questions later. Your apprentice is more pirate than you.
I don't have an apprentice.
Princess Ash, I would hear your heart. If Dr. Sid has spoke the truth, you may well be rewarded with more Nethicite in Giruvegan. Tell me, do you still desire the stone?
I desire its power. I want, yet I also fear. I must protect Dalmasca. I can't afford to fear anything.
Do not forget Nabudis. That is my only counsel for you.
Ah yes, Nabudis. What's a Nabudis again? Ah, our guest. If you're finished, oh my God! I'm ready for the camera to move. All right. Oh, she's gonna move instead. Okay. Okay. Our guest. If you finish talking with Lord Redis, I suppose you'll be wanting to hear about the Feywood. You good over there?
Are you? Am I not enough? Huh? I was just slamming my glasses on the floor.
Oh, great. Have you been keeping an eye on Molly?
Yeah, she's walking around.
Still?
Yeah.
Riken, why must we aid these people? They seek only to further their own ends and care little for our lord's wants, if at all. These people? I see only a boy, and if it's by Lord Redis' command, if you have concerns. I've got me a nose for ill intent. I'll take the measure of him. Aye, not bad at all. He measures up quite nicely. This one means no harm to Lord Redis. Measure? You barely measure up to his waist, and that's counting a parrot. Your concerns duly noted. I, for one, plan on following Lord Redis' orders. Do what you please, but know that no good will come of this. I apologize. Pay her no mind. Now where was I? Ah yes, south of the vast Golmore jungle in Kirwan, there lies a place known as the Feywood. The mist there is far denser than most, and even should you make it through that, there's no guarantee you'll make it past what lies beyond. He speaks of the hidden trial of the Feywood, which must be passed to open the gate to the holy land of Giruvegan. She's just wearing a thong over her shorts.
I don't understand what I'm seeing.
I'm okay with it.
No, those aren't pants. That's her underwear.
That's a thong?
Over underwear. And I'm saying it's underwear because it's too fucking short in both directions to be shorts.
That's fine.
It's a strip of fabric that goes between her crotch. That's it. There's no problem, it's just, why is her underwear on top of underwear? The logic is, I don't get it.
Shame.
Oh, wait, what about his pants? Why are his pants so short too? They're literally being held up with that.
He has the same style.
Exactly. Oh, he really does. What?
Oh shit.
Wait, go back to her?
His face is all fucked up.
Yeah, go back to her. Nope, never mind. I thought maybe it was a cup.
How do
like armor?
How do I turn off the camera blurring feature? What?
Took me a second. Spit. Just play the fucking game. You're asking the right question.
South of Gulmore Jungle in Kerwan lies the Feywood, past that the Holy Land and Guru Vegan.
You'll come to learn that I am very logic-oriented, so when things don't logically make sense... He has the thong!
It's the signature uniforms. Lord Redis is out. There's to be no entry in his absence. If you've business, talk to those three.
Hers does... It's a fucking thong. I don't care if it's supposed to be armor. Yeah, all of them.
You're a vegan. I've sailed many seas in my time in search of the richest shoals, but I never heard tell of that place. Redis is a man true and just. This town was a den of villainy till he came along and cleaned it up. Compared to how it was, this town's become nigh on respectable thanks to Redis. Still, there's some who resent what he's done here. He turns a cold eye on those who disturb the peace, that's why. I think we have a lot of reading ahead. So, how about I season that with some more reading? For acquiring over 100,000 gil, earning you the title of Plunderer. Look at her bounce around. Oh, she's giggling. My god, I really have... Oh. Okay. Alright, settle in. Get a blanket. Lay down. Should the traveler hear a hauntingly sweet song in the wetlands, beware. Don't get too excited. Should the traveler hear a hauntingly sweet song in the wetlands, beware. For it is surely the dulcet lore of the Baratine Croc, a crafty and dangerous beast favoring cold climes and dank underground caverns. The thick layer of moss-green fur covering much of its bulk is of great density, and containing of air pockets which further insulate the beast against the elements, making it better suited to living in harsh environs than its gator brethren. The stream is my lullaby. I take that as a compliment. Why are these in the Garam Safe waterway? Marlborough Overking. This Marlborough, though through its abstinence of the odd practice of heterogenesis by which its lesser ilk procreate, has reached the foreseeable pinnacle of its development. Its hide has grown hard to the very point of petrification, and the crown it wears is studded with a glittering gemstone for each year of its life, truly a king among foul-smelling vegetables. Completed Phase 3 of inquiry into the nature of putrid breath, unable to annul stench, though have developed several deodorant solutions of passable strength, and 3 fragrances withal, such as may be marketable with further refinement. Indeed, 3 of my most experienced researchers have joined a small venture marketing these scents, and so spend their days mixing, culling, and sniffing. They have even achieved some measure of financial success with a particular fragrance derived from putrid liquid, the public being none the wiser. I know not if I will see them in my laboratory again. A variety of golem having a body like the trunk of a tree. Indeed, they are known for their habit of blending into wooded surroundings, silently waiting to bring their massive fists down upon any who disturb the peace of the forest. It is said they are the manifestation of the forest's lament at the loss of trees to the jaws of insatiable industry. Being a hunter of the highest order, with a body of jet black and an aura of eldritch ensorcelment, it would own. Kirwan, largely forested continent lying to the southeast of Ordalia. Climate varies greatly by region, and many less hospitable areas are uninhabited. In the west of Kirwan dwell the Gareth. In the wooded north dwell the Viera, both living in peace, apparently unaffected by the expansionist hunger which has so dominated Hume history. Though the Hume presence is strong on the other continents, in Kirwan they can only be found in the eastern highlands, on the slopes of the holy mountain of Kiltia Bur Omises. Being a creature of dubious origin, either a wyvern that has lost its wings or a creature of the water that became like to a worm. Sheathed in armor-like scales, its upper body is highly muscular, serving to support a giant head set with powerful jaws. It uses the horn of its nose to charge and stab like a long spear. It's a crazy-looking thing. I fought this thing. Great Marlborough. On reaching an advanced age, some Marlboroughs have been known to transform into an entirely different variety of Marlborough, gaining rank within the vegetative hierarchy, as it were. This phenomenon, known as the spirit tree flux, is found only in plants and related beings, for few other phyla enjoy such a long life, and is thought to be due to the absorption of mist over several centuries. Such Marlboroughs' bodies turn the color of a rich argent ore, the saliva in their maws emitting a still fouler stench than before. The question of how exactly Marlboroughs produce their infamous bad breath has puzzled researchers for generations, a situation made all the more frustrating by the knowledge that understanding the production process would be the first step toward creating a neutralizing agent, not to mention adapting the stench for military use. However, years of painstaking inquiry have revealed only that the noxious fumes emanate from the foul liquid that constitutes the creature's saliva, a substance which can be manufactured by no means known to man. Being a variety of wolf adapted to life in forest mountain regions, with long white fur to protect it from the bitter cold and camouflage it against the snow, their shining blue eyes can see even in the fiercest blizzard, useful in judging the position of others in the pack when coordinating attacks. Paramina Rift, comprising a great ravine running through the mountains of the Yagd Ramuda, this is a barren land covered in hoarfrost and deep snows. The spent shells of airships hang in the frozen river, and here and there can be seen the ruins of great cities built during the years of the Galtean Alliance. Many are the scholars who believe that the Paramina Rift was once a rich and verdant land, and that a climate change brought about by the mist made it into the cold, harsh Yagd we see today. Being a strain of plate worm residing in the dark reaches of the Paramina Rift, having evolved a feathered covering to protect against the harsh cold. Its smooth metallic carapace is coated in an oily secretion which prevents snow from adhering to its surface. According to legend, mages once used these creatures in the working of a great magic, powerful enough to destroy all Ivalice, yet little is recorded about the magic itself. Being a flesh-eating beast with 4 horns atop its head, sheathed in scales much like those of a dragon, lives in humid grasslands where it digs tunnels with its powerful forelimbs. Its extendable tongue, situated towards the front of its mouth, is divided into 4 at the tip. The creature uses it as a whip to snare prey. Thus captured, still wriggling meals are bound in viscous saliva and stored for later consumption. You've heard of wind stones and ice stones, right? Well, my friend, there's a stone more powerful than either, magicite. Oh, you knew that, did you? What's that you say? There's aught more powerful than even magicite? Crystals, they're called. Well, that's something I'm not seeing. And there's another stone more powerful still? Kenny, Time Mage. Emperor Avis. Called Emperor for the intricate pattern upon its wings, much resembling exquisite embroideries such as one might find upon an emperor's robe. Living mainly in deep ravines and gulches and mountainous terrain, their eyesight has deteriorated in the dark so that now they hunt primarily by their other senses. They sense much through their distinctive horn, which serves withal as a vicious weapon for the impaling of foes. Being the legendary foe of the worms, as told in the Legend of the Dragoons. Now, it is generally held that the sun has an affinity for fire. However, according to those natural philosophers who have studied white incense, the sun's allegiance lies not with flame but with holy power. This, of course, discredits the theory that the sun is but a large fiery sphere, but has led wiser men to suggest that the sun is indeed a holy object to which flame is clung, a base light yearning for a higher power. Being the black-boned demon skeleton of a man whose strength faltered and failed in a place rife with darkness. They are driven by the need to create more of their ilk, and so they exude dark energies, brooding all around them. The greater their number in a given area, the more likely it is that others will join their eternal vigil. 'Tis a well-known fact that black mages head off into the wild wilderness several times a year, clutching a death's head from a dark skeleton tightly in their hands. But few know why they travel or where they go. Rumors speak of shady gatherings or pilgrimages to the underworld, where demons impart dark secrets to them in return for grisly sacrifice. But such explanations are little more than idle conjecture. Though nonetheless prized for their skills, this mysterious custom has earned black mages a rather unsavory reputation. Oh yeah, how were those tacos last night? Hello, welcome to the stream. Being beasts once used to pull freight sledges filled with heavy materials over rough mountainous terrain. With innovations in transportation, they grew scarce, and now only a few remain, and these feral. Stores of fat under the thick hide of their backs provided sustenance when famine visited the cold, barren climes where once they worked. Observers have attested to the impressive efficacy of these deposits, individuals having reportedly survived for over a year without nourishment. Being an ancient knight whose elegant bearing betrays nothing of the weight of his thick steel armor, he wields a spear with the expert grace of elder times. In the distant past, in a war fought in a land of extreme cold, those that lost their lives became undead, being henceforth called the Brothers of Bone, their numbers being equal to the losses on both sides. Returning them all to the land's warm embrace would be an epic undertaking. Tacos are right on every night. Nice, yeah, I would agree. I need to hit up Taco Bell soon before they get rid of those new churros. I haven't tried them yet. And apparently they made a, what is it, a Caliente sauce? The dirty Mountain Dew? Baja Blast? Oh. They have that all the time.
Yeah, I just want it.
They have a Caliente Cantina chicken menu now. Like, they have the Cantina chicken menu, but now they have a Caliente sauce. Hey, I'll try it.
Dude.
What? I was talking about new items. Okay.
The only thing I can have from there.
Well, I'm not going to be able to go to Taco Bell for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I know.
Here she comes. I think she was looking for her food, but I picked it up. She ate most of it, though.
Good.
Are you done downstairs? Are you done downstairs?
No. Still have one more sleep thing.
Make sure you try to keep an eye on Molly a bit still.
What?
Make sure you check on Molly still.
Oh.
Also, a reminder to everybody tonight, 2 a.m. is 3 a.m. At least I think that's tonight and not tomorrow. Yeah. As opposed to 2 a.m. being 1 a.m.
I'm fucking sleepy.
Mount Baromises, the sacred mountain of the Kiltia sect located to the north of the Yagd Romuda. A temple was built here by believers to mark the place where the founder of the Light of Kiltia began to spread the teachings. There are accounts of the holy city here dating back to writings from the age of the Galtean Alliance. In its long history, Mount Baromises has never fallen under the control of any foreign power. On the understanding that Kiltias' followers would exempt themselves from political dealings in other lands, Kingdom and Empire both formed a pact to guarantee the holy city's independence, an agreement which stands to this day. It would not be an error to call Mount Baromises itself a shrine to Kiltia. Apart from the temples, there are only a few residences with roadside shops catering to the steady stream of pilgrims. In recent years, refugees from war-torn lands have gathered here, forming camps on parts of the mountain. The priests of Kiltia gave them aid that they might live here in peace. As Mount Baromises is surrounded by Yagd, the faithful must cross the inner Naldoan Sea by boat in their pilgrimage to the holy city. Oops. Yay! Oh my god, it's Umaro! A thick coat of fur is a perfect protection against the cold in the snow-covered mountain ranges where these creatures reside. In olden times, it was said that mountain gods lived in the snowy crags, and villagers would offer them sacrifices for their good favor. Now it is widely believed that these gods were in fact Yeti who had succeeded in cowing superstitious local residents. Ice Elemental. Being an elemental of ice from the freezing blizzards of the north, the coming of such beings is perceived differently by the various peoples of Ivalice. To some it is a holy thing, blessed and ephemeral as the passing of the seasons. To others it is a harbinger of hard times. As a matter of fact, cold spells do visit the places where ice elementals gather, but research into the precise nature of their relationship with the weather is frozen, so to speak. No new discoveries having been made in years. Know you of the mage power Shishak? 'Tis said it is a helm made to heighten the magical powers of knights. Helpful when you spend long years training your body and a few years training your mind. I've heard they use chimera heads to give it the magics it needs. Gives one cause to think that even the savage chimeras brighter than your average sword swinger. Flo, Seeker of the Way. Oh man. There were some spies coming to the barracks the other day, but they got away before we could nab them. They was wearing black cows just right. So as not to be seen. Don't get me wrong, I ain't praising them, but if you'd seen some of them things they was wearing made of fine wool and tyrant hide, you'd have been impressed too. Oops. Being a cruel, headless giant, born from the spilled blood of a demon, it views the world through the eye enchained across its chest, the pupil of which is said to be a window onto the underworld. Some say that to stare into this eye is to show your soul to the darkness, and that those foolish enough to do so are instantly consumed by an unquenchable rage. Many such rumors endure to this day in the absence of a survivor to disprove them. I will be right back real quick. Apologies. Hello, I'm back. My apologies. Did not expect that to take that long. We are drawing ever closer to 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Unfortunately, probably gonna have to end at that point, to be quite honest. But let us try to get I think I'm going to end basically doing the bestiary. Try to get all this reading out of the way. And if we can get some more talking to people done, we'll get some more talking to people done. Let's go. I'm gonna be starting nice and early tomorrow, hopefully. This is the last day of the vacation, last day of Evilise week. We'll see if we have another Evilise week. If I don't play any of the other Evilise games before next year, then next year's vacation, at least one of them will be an Evilise week. Anyway, getting beside myself here. There's this particular weapon, an axe, me and my boys are fond of. The Francisca, she's called. Heard of her? Seems they make 'em up north, and only when pointed horns and Marlboro fruit are in healthy supply at market. That's why we've been out hunting for 'em every spare moment we get. Just wanna check it. Yep. Being a dragon that has lived in darkness for such a great span of time, its eyes have withered. Yet its sense of touch has grown so acute that it may sense the slightest source of heat upon the air, thereby distinguishing obstacle from foe. Avis summons to mind the word for demon's armor in an ancient tongue, and indeed the worm's carapace is as impenetrable as the hardest steel. Hardest steel. You know the diamond sword, right? Well, it's worth such a fortune that they have to wrap it in a bundle of feathers for sale so it don't scratch none. Of course, it's hard to imagine anything that would mar that blade. Why, if it did nick, I'd have to say it was a fake. Oh man, I've seen that emoji setup before. Ancient teachings tell us that those attached to beauty are abandoned without succor after death, and fall back down to earth in inexecrable form as ghouls. Though the truth of this can never be known, they are indeed drawn to beauty, and it seems likely that they defile the living in a desperate effort to reclaim what they once had. Darkmare. Being a nightmare transformed by long years of living in lands saturated with mist, preferring to inhabit ruins and other places starved of light. Mist rises in clouds about its body and pours incessantly from its mane and hooves. Statue made to defend the relics of the Dynast King that rest in the still shrine of Miriam. Within burns an everlasting flame, the source of the power which fuels its ceaseless wandering through the still shrine's deserted corridors. Generally docile, but prone to charging in with teeth a-chatter and flames roaring when trespassers least expect it. The Still Shrine of Miriam, an ancient shrine deep within the Yagd Ramuda. Like Wraithwell's tomb, this too was constructed in the time of the Galtean Alliance, originally to honor the ancient god of swords and martial might. It is said that a Grand Kiltias of long ago selected the Still Shrine to house the relics of Dynast King Wraithwell, though why he would choose this site and not a temple of his own sect is unclear. Being a fiend created by a Grand Kiltias of long ago to roam the Still Shrine, protecting the relics of the Dynast King that rest within. Its body exudes great magical power, fueling a pale, glowing flame that burns around it incessantly. Made to defend the relics of the Dynast King with their lives, or more precisely with their deaths. The Centurio, an elite clan having its clan hall in the royal city of Ravenastor, formed by the young Moodle Yeblanc. The young Moogle Montblanc. The fuck? That the relatively new Centurio is quickly making its mark among the clans is thanks in no small part to Montblanc's encouragement of cooperation between members, and all Centurio's dedication to getting the job done. Centurio is renowned for welcoming hunters of all races. Its founding members including a new Mo, McEnroe, and a Vieira. Miriam Garden, a great statue made to protect the relics of the Dynast King that lies sleeping in the Still Shrine of Miriam. It is not known in what age or by whom it was made. According to those scholars who have investigated the shrine, the designs of the statue are similar to those in certain ruins around Ivlis, giving weight to the theory that they were created by the same unknown individual or collective. They say there is a point in the body which, struck just so, will stop a man cold in its tracks, unable to move. A skilled marksman could use a fine arrow, thin like a needle, to do this from a distance. That's where stone bolts come in handy. As I'm sure you know, they use bundles of needles to make them, so proper width and sharpness are guaranteed. Aim, of course, depends on your arm. Jimmick, Blue Mage. Oiling. Being an amorph found in the ruins of Arctic lands, the uncanny ichor of which it is composed is resistant to the cold, yet the slightest lick of flame will set it ablaze. Some effort has been made in the past to utilize this substance as a weapon, but a viable method of collection is yet to be devised. Holy shit. Quite recently, a similar substance was found in the Ogiriensa Sand Sea, and research is underway to find a connection between the two. Miriam Facer. Being the giant carven head of what must have been a truly gargantuan statue, stationed as an eternal guardian to protect the Dynast King's relics where they sleep in the Still Shrine of Miriam. It is not known by what power it propels itself through the corridors, but in that it represents the Colossus's only surviving locomotive part, It seems likely that the head retains the source of the original statue's animation. There's an odd bird among the swordsmiths, so there is. He claims the worth of his blades is not in their keenness, but in the sharpness of the screams they call from their victims. Inhuman, eh? He's the one what forged the Ame no Morakuma. Where it is, he spends his days pulling up scream root and listening to its cries. Told you it was odd. Nurse. Templar. Guest. A sort of zombie, infamous far and wide for its ill-favored appearance and savage demeanor. It is rumored that this creature first appeared in a fairy tale, and that the story somehow made its way into a grimoire. The very act of transcribing the words therein, thence giving life to the creature known as the Guest. The truth behind this rumor and the power of words are currently topics of much study with amongst scholars of the annals of our history. Crystal bug. Being a fiend that, unable to move and hunt for food on its own, mimics the form of a crystal, thereby tempting its prey to come to it. The deception is nearly perfect and thus almost impossible to detect. Should an ill-starred traveler mistake such a creature for a crystal and reach out his hand, he will be treated to a maelstrom of the strongest magics before having his life juices summarily drained. Being a variety of wolf with fur of eye-searing red, known to hunt well-organized packs, of them Alpha Worgen are the strongest and the pack leaders. The fur is doubtlessly for protection from the strong sunlight and harshly arid environs in which they dwell, the exception being the band of bright yellow, stretching from their eyes to their ears, which, cut together with the red, serves as a clear warning to interlopers and potential predators. Just about anyone who can see the value of a well-furred pelt. Yet there are some treasures you'd even give up a fine pelt to possess. One famous example, throat wolf blood. I won't go into the market price, but seeing adventurers lusting after furs with the merest bit of the blood splashed on them, well, I think you get the idea. Being a fell creature, some calling it the Lord of Beasts for its vicious temperament and snarling, lightning-fast manner of attack. The working of its heart and lungs is specially adapted to the mountainous regions in which it dwells, enabling long, protracted combat without pause. The Humbaba is a social creature known to raise great howls in communication with others of its kind, thereby coordinating a pursuit or warning of danger. Python. Living in dry mountainous regions, the mouth of the python has developed its distinctive narrowed shape to better probe the rocky cracks where its prey makes their nests. From neck down to midriff, its body is split into two identical curves, each containing an elongated stomach with powerful digestive capabilities. With these, can it process large quantities of food despite its slender form. Its bony scales are azure in hue. Its bony scales are azure in hue and much resemble lusterless metal. Being a variety of diver, living primarily in arid mountainous regions, skilled at riding the updrafts high in the air, once it spots its prey and plummeting downward for the kill. Having wing tips the shade of purple, often seen in highland flora, this being a clear indication of long years spent in adaptation with its environs, Its long beak, too, is evidence of this, the shape being perfectly suited for the fishing out of smaller creatures from between the rocky crags. Being a magical construct of brick and mortar, the furnace in its chest, which powers its locomotion, is fed by its own clay, meaning that it must periodically restore itself, in which the much same as we require sustenance to live. Though its inexpensive materials and touch wire where the hell did I read that? Swear to God, I'm dyslexic tonight, but that just came out of nowhere. Alright. Though its inexpensive materials and ordinary workmanship make for an inelegant weapon of war, its inaptitude for repair makes it the ideal automaton for a range of other tasks, both in the laboratory and in the field. It is a sign of the low cost of fabrication that once the creation receives orders, they cannot be revoked. Hence the sight of golems from a defeated and forgotten army roaming the land in search of an enemy long since dead and gone. Wait, what the fuck? Being a slaven born feral, hence called wilder. Slaven wilder. Okay. Perhaps owing to its ancestors' history of industrial labor, it prefers to inhabit land rich in ore. There it feeds on small beasts and the roots of plants, owing to their slow rate of maturation and habit of sitting still among ore-rich rocks. It is common to see magnificent crystalline structures on the creature's backs, accumulated through contact with the rocks around them. Though it moves quite slowly, it is known for its fierce temper when aroused. I'll make sure not to arouse it. Pumpkinhead. Being a variety of mandragora, exceptional among its kind for a high degree of intelligence. The most often cited evidence of this being the clothes, gloves, and boots it is known to wear. It lives in the manner of men, and exhibits a personality startlingly similar to ours. It is richly expressive, and found of making hideous faces. This same playfulness is illustrated by the pumpkin mask it wears upon its head. The Salika Wood. Forested region in central Nebradia. A path strung between the thick growing trees leads towards Arcadia. However, many of the tree bridges are covered with thick moss and in advanced stages of decay. This is not... Oh wait, I think this one did lose its head as well. There's a different creature that looks like this, but I think this one also lost its head. As transport by airship gained prominence, the land roads were abandoned. Now more beasts walk the woods than travelers. The forest is the domain of the Kingdom of Nebradia. Abandoned those 2 years since its fall, the number of fell beasts within its borders swells daily. Marlborough King. Being the highest rank of Marlborough, and wearing a crown to prove it. It is still unknown how it came to wear its crown, or who indeed made it. There's a rumor which claims that should a man slay it and put on its crown, he will at once be transformed into a Marlborough King. Should this be true, it could very well mean that the crown is cursed with the vilest of magics, and the beast that wears it was once a man. Being a variety of wolf, Silver Lobo, with leaden scales upon its back, and the flats of its hands and feet withal. Having the curious habit of eating small rocks along with its prey to aid the digestion through a grinding in the stomach. It is felt that the lead and zinc from these stones passed into the beast's body, eventually leading to the formation of their unique scales. It is said that once the son of a rich nobleman set out on a journey to prove his worth. His goal: to collect a piece of storm magicite, an insect husk, and a tanned giant skin. Piece of insect husk and tan giant skin. He thought it wise to deck himself with platinum gear, but its purchase cost him all his gil, and with no money left for traveling, his journey was cancelled. If it were me, I'd sell the gear and get me something of real value. Gatal, Dragoon. Mandragora. Being a vegetative creature that grows in water of high salinity, the vines twisting up from its neck form a distinctive mask. As its screech is quite injurious to man, chemicals are often spread to prevent these creatures' growth, yet their vine masks prevent all but the most lethal of mixtures from actually killing them. Those natural philosophers who have studied their extraordinary powers of reproduction have pressed for an increase in the use of such chemicals. Chaosaur. Being the most ancient of the tyrants known to exist today, its elongated skull and forward-set eyes are well developed for tracking the movements of swifter prey. When on the hunt, it charges with great strides, keeping distance with its long tail held out behind it. Perhaps due to its primordial nature, this tyrant is possessed of no great wit, preferring to simply attack all that moves rather than waste time in idle pondering. Pyrolisk. Due to its carnivorous nature, the back of this avian has receded, being replaced by a mouth filled with sharp teeth. As it lives amongst the rocks near the sea, so have its wings changed coloration to match that of the sand and gravel. The pattern on its wings resembles that of the insect known as the Peloria, feared for their potent venom which causes searing pain much like a burn, and is therefore an effective deterrent to predation. Every adventurer dreams of one day collecting the Giga series of equipment. Of course, these well-made items command an exorbitant price. That is why many seek to barter their way into ownership at the bazaar. That said, it's no easy task to collect the prime pelts and prime tanned hides you need in trade. Make it or buy it, either way you got your work cut out for you. Wanlo, Green Mage. Piranha. Being Ichthon, favoring winds of high salinity, using its large fins to ply the air as if it were water. Sharply pointed bone on its head, like those spears, ideally suited for goring prey from the sky and fending off the attacks of the Pyrolisk. Its sharp wedge-like teeth are compelled by a muscular lower jaw, so well developed that it dwarfs the upper, contributing to the creature's intimidating appearance. Pearl. Being an odd creature with webbing like that of an amphibian on its feet to aid swimming, a long slender body, and even longer streaming whiskers. Prefers to eat small animals and the like, but known to venture into the shallows to catch fish when food is scarce. This consumption of aquatic prey appears to be a taste acquired after the Age of Ice, where most land-based fauna was extinguished, and it was then that the Curl developed its distinctive webbing. Feral Croc. Fur the color of dead grass conceals a hard, scaly exoskeleton, protecting this flesh eater with few known predators. Its head is concealed by a split upper and lower jaw, and it is from between these that it keeps careful watch on prey through well-maintained through well-maintained sunken eye holes. It is aggressive yet wary, threatening potential aggressors with displays of its wide-open maw. There's one more on the curl. Cheetah Uplands, a hilly region reaching to the south of Arcadia. Before the widespread adoption of airships as the primary means of conveyance, this region was the highway to the Imperial City and filled with travelers. Ruins must be spotted here and there amongst the tall grass, and researchers from Arcades often come here to delve into the mysteries left by whatever ancient civilization built them. Being a fiendish creature of terrible aspect, bearing 3 sets of venomous fangs with which it brings death to all unfortunate enough to be bitten. So why are we reading about the 6-head cat? We're catching up on the bestiary, reading all the new entries. Probably all we're doing tonight, because 2 a.m. is 3 a.m. Ended up starting a little late. And it's spring forward tonight. Being a fiendish creature, a terrible aspect, bearing the 3 sets of venomous fangs with which it brings death to all unfortunate enough to be bitten. It is sheathed in hard, slick scales, allowing quick movement in even arid climes. Recent studies have revealed that the body of this creature has no less than 6 limb joints, suggesting perhaps that it was once winged. Amongst the followers of the light, it is believed that the Creator God sent 12 apostles to us upon the great working of the world. Yet I've heard there may have been a 13th, yes, another apostle. It's rumored that someone found an ancient tome, and that had record of an apostle who came among us in the form of a giant serpent. If this is true, and I see no reason to believe it isn't, then there should also be a gemstone, a great treasure bearing the mark of the snake, a gemstone named Serpentarius. Imp. Did I run into this? Okay. Being a creature known for its lusterless yellow body and full rounded wings, it is given to waving its long tail like a Rosarian dancer might wave her 6th veil. This to maintain balance as it flies. The name of the imp derives from an ancient word impet, meaning the child broken from the devil, and befitting their name, they delight in mischief and small acts of evil. Sochan Cave Palace, a giant underground complex in Arcadia, consisting of natural caverns and the abandoned ruins of an ancient palace. Many of its ways and passages remain uncharted on current maps. From the style of its carvings adorning some of the walls, it is thought that the complex was built at some point during the Galtean Alliance, though no records of its construction remain. A survey mission was initiated to chart the many corridors here, but a particularly nasty infestation of creatures has significantly hampered progress. Lesser forms of evil, like murder. Striker, being a condemned man, his blood turned by torture into pure venom, searing his veins. Attacks without restraint or mercy, for only in the moment when he severs victim's head from torso does he know relief from agony. The necklace he wears is shaped like the flower whose prison whose poison courses through his tortured soul, and is set with magics to prevent any serum from easing his suffering. Finishing up in the basement, then headed to bed. Fair enough. I will not be far behind. Likely with ice cream. Valendia. Continent lying to the northeast of Ordalia. The climate is overall quite clement. The fuck? And levels of mist are far more stable than on the other two large continents. Many towns and villages dot the hilly regions stretching from the continent's interior to the shores of the inner Naldoan Sea, most under the direct control of Arcadia. The Kingdom of Nebradia, lying on the Fawn Straits in western Valendia, prospered here until its destruction in the Arcadian invasion of 2 years past. Its capital, Nabudus, becoming a deserted wasteland. Not to be confused with greater forms of evil. Okay, I want to puke. Don't talk to me about food. Oh, I thought you were going to make some noodles and sauce for yourself because the dinner wasn't enough. Thought you'd be hungry. Pit fiend. Being a dull-hued creature with translucent wings, resembling those of an insect. It does not fly by the beating of its wings, but rather by the levitating magics it casts. Its wings are not without use, however, being essential to managing the wind and aiding balance, permitting uninterrupted flight in even the most adverse conditions. A myth counts this being as one of the warriors set to defend the Jade Passage to the Devil's Palace. Like making people drink orange juice or wishing for furries to actually exist. Listen. You don't like orange juice? I mean, I guess it... I have to be in the mood. It's usually a breakfast thing. No comment on the furs. Most of my internet friends, by some manner of coincidence, are furries. So, not my real life friends. Mostly just my internet friends. In ancient times, certain tribes would sever the heads of the fallen and commit the body to a watery burial. It was believed that one could bind their souls as protective spirits. Such practices have long been abandoned, but its legacy may be seen in the sodden corpses since risen to gouge the earth in search of buried kin. Oh, I meant drinking orange juice after brushing your teeth. Oh. That's the part of breakfast that you don't want to drink orange juice for. Zombie Night, being knights of tragic bearing with oath magics scriven on their flesh. Scriven? You're just pulling words out of our ass now. Many are indeed deserters who receive the oaths as punishment and warning to others, robbing their bodies of freedom. These oath magics shall not be broken until the vessels of their souls are wholly decayed and worn away to nothing. And so they wander and kill and await that day. You've heard of the Halcyons, greatest among the Magicites, bearing the likeness of Entites, no? They must be powerful to be named after such beings as the Salamand Entite, or the Undine Entite. Of course, I have no idea how one would go about getting such a beauty, except stealing it straight from an Entite itself. Ha! Humane appraiser. Maybe I should use that as a form of torture in D&D. Oh, absolutely. Just have to come up with a scenario in which, like, you can actually get someone to do that. Being a man who, consumed by magics, discarded the worn husk of his body and took refuge in the body of a cockatrice, thereby forming the fell creature known as the Gorgamera, living in dim, dry underground caverns, corridors, and the like. Their distinctive scaly visage is horrifying to look upon, and their wings, which spread to reveal mesmerizing eye patterns, draw others into the twisted world of their wholly corrupted minds. That would be the solution to one of my puzzles. I could use prestidigitation and make their saliva to taste it like that. Oh my god. Onion Queen. Every season, a fresh and beautiful female wild onion is selected by her peers to lead the patch. Hi.
Oh god. This is its own form of torture. Not being able to drink or eat anything and being dehydrated.
Why, what's going on?
The wine was bubbly.
Oh. Oh yeah, look.
Hello. Yeah, fuck off, Dave.
So I have an alarm on my watch for every 2 a.m. and p.m. and every 8 a.m. and p.m. Yet when the time changes, my 2 a.m. alarm comes on my watch as 3 a.m. It's funny.
But yeah, as I was saying, so it was bubbly. So now I'm filled with gas. I'm full from all the food I ate. And I'm dehydrated, so I have to drink something. And it's a never-ending cycle. And I want to throw up.
You left Molly downstairs?
Yeah, you're getting hurt. Me bending down to pick up plants made me want to throw up.
Did she do anything?
No.
Okay.
She peed. I feel like I might be pregnant. Like, that's how much my stomach feels like it's full. I have a food baby, alright?
Well, I am going to finish reading through the bestiary before I get off of here tonight.
Oh.
Because when we start up tomorrow, I'm going to have a whole ton of shit to read anyway, because we're in a new town. So, I was just being nice because I heard you come in and I get told fuck off.
What?
No, she was telling me to fuck off.
I was telling Dave to fuck off. I don't talk to the stream like that unless we know them in person. Then I'll tell them to fuck off.
What were you telling me to fuck off for?
I'm very mean to the people I like the most. What?
Now I get an ad for being...
Oh no.
Oh.
Get an ad for being nice. What were you saying, babe?
I don't remember what you told me to fuck off for.
I don't know why I told you to fuck off either. I tell you to fuck off all the time. I don't fucking remember what half the times I say it for. Man, you have a bow tie.
Bow tie? Where? Oh, yeah.
A bow necklace, bow tie, I don't know. God, you like my throat. And my dog is more comfortable than me right now. Welcome back. As I was saying, I didn't tell you to fuck off. I was telling Dave to fuck off.
Yeah, I don't remember why.
I don't either, but I only tell Dave to fuck off. Or our in-person friends, then I'll tell them to fuck off. I tell fuck off to the people that I know. In person. Yes. This water tastes so amazing, but I'm gonna regret it.
Every season, a fresh and beautiful female wild onion is selected by her peers to lead the patch. The chosen one, filled with confidence in her own beauty, becomes elegant, noble, and queen-like in every respect. There are some who theorize that, to preserve her beauty, the Onion Queen becomes wary, fearing injury. However, judging by their undiminished propensity for violent behavior, the wise observer might question the veracity of this theory. Being the mutated form of a mandragora grown near a killing block or other such place where blood is spilled in large quantities, having eyes the color of blood, writes the naturalist Merlot in her vivid account of an encounter with one such beast. Gazed I then into those crimson pupils, and witnessed I there its abiding madness. If the blood spilled on the ground where it grew was pure, then it is said it will become a mandragora prince, with fell appearance but hopeful heart. Alarun King. Being a mutated form of Alarun, its horns having acquired strength akin to that of metal through ceaselessly struggling for dominance within the pack. The combat awakened those who survived, and as one they departed. In a secret place they now foregather, locked in combat through day and night, to determine the strongest Alarun in the world. Pumpkin Star, being named for its prominence in the upper echelons of Pumpkinhead society. These creatures know of learning, and all are dedicated to the pursuit of some form of knowledge. For those who show the most success, there is a reward, a star-shaped lantern. In recent years, their intellect has advanced by leaps and bounds, causing some natural philosophers to fear a coming clash with our civilization in the days to come. Topstalk. Being a leader of sorts among the sharp-toothed, deadly nightshades. They live upon the flesh of other animals and various fantastical creatures, the latter part of their diet causing them to become hardier than others of their ilk. Their vicious fangs have the property of amplifying the noise of their screams, making them all the more clamorous and inspiring of fear.
Oh.
Mateus.
Is that two heads? No, that's her arms. Oh, she's tied.
Oh,
to herself.
shit, she's tied. I didn't even... That's mommy.
Yeah, that's a... That looks like it's supposed to be a bedpost, too.
Hello, Cheesy. Welcome to the stream. You're coming in right at the end here.
Explain her weird movement.
Scion of Darkness, ruling and protecting those who live in the underworld, in opposition to Laha Brea. What? Abyssal Celebrant and Scion of Light. Interesting. Okay. Well, Laha Brea is the name of... I'm sure it comes from something else, but it's the name of a character in Final Fantasy XIV.
I'm guessing they're not the Scion of Light.
I can't quite remember if I learned whether or not they are. They're like... Yeah, it's all that shit is a little complicated still in the story where I'm at.
Also, does she have two hips?
No.
It looks like she has two hips. Where her hips are.
Well, she has regular woman hips, and then she has, like, mermaid hips.
So she has two sets of hips.
Sure.
With the way her body is moving, it looks like she has two sets of hips. I'm just saying.
That's definitely her ass. Anyway.
And it still looks like she has two sets of hips.
In the course of his rule, he submitted to avarice, and the darkness took his heart, transforming him until he was both evil and corrupt. Then in his cowardice did he bind a goddess of the Demesne of Ice, and using her as a living shield, he challenged the gods. Defeated before their might, he fell screaming into the depths of hell, there to be imprisoned for eternity.
Yeah, she had legs. And then a mermaid body attached to where her legs were.
Yeah. Elder Worm. Guardian beasts of the forests, and the most ancient of the dragons in Ivalice. Though they perished several thousands of years ago, the living things of the wood grew in them, giving them nourishment and counteracting the corruption of their flesh until they stood once more. So they share body and soul with the wood, and suffer no intruders within its boundaries. Venuscar. Being a manufactured dragon of iron, set as guardian to a shrine where the followers of the ancient goddess Miriam once came to worship. Though an eerie iron mask covers the three portions of its head, none alive know its meaning or purpose, nor is it known who created it and in what age. The one thing we do know is that we no longer possess the knowledge necessary to manufacture such a creature. Ahriman. In ancient times, Sochin Cave Palace was used as a ground for spiritual training by monks and ascetics.
It's got an eyeball in the middle of it and twisted.
Here they purified their hearts, yet the corruption they washed away pooled, becoming the black soil out of which the Ahriman is said to have grown. This coalescence of discarded corruption hates those with pure hearts, and attacks with vengeful animosity. For this, the Ahriman is considered an enemy by most religions of Ivalice. The Golem War. Nightwalker of such dark thirst, it is said to cull hallowed souls from the very altars of worship. This strain, as yet unrecorded in the camp annals, is hunted in the still shrine of Miriam. I guess so.
Yes, rare.
Seek. Humanoids of great girth, considered somewhat duller and cruder than Humes. Though they appear ponderous, they move with surprising alacrity, making excellent warriors whether on the attack or defensive. However, their barbarous natures and lack of courage find them engaged more often as bandits or worse, very fond of gemstones, gold, and other shiny objects with which they richly adorn their bulky forms. Most myth and legends, through the influence and designs of culture and religion, becomes warped considerably from its original form. Though, however, should we look more closely into its myriad folds, therein might we find the thread of truth. Come, friend, and I shall guide you through one such myth. A story of Ivalice and her creation. Though stories of the great making are as many as the stars in the heavens above, few are they that begin with a tale of vengeance. Look closely, mayhap it shall be you who finds the thread within. Honest the Holy, Part 1. And so it was that Fabar and the Danaan, being tribes of gods both, warred for many thousands of years until the prophet Matoya foresaw that Zabam, god king of the Danaan, would die by a trusted blade and war would end. Fearing death, god king Zabam took his most trusted general, Anas, god of swords, and thrust him with his retinue into the ever-darkened depths of a great labyrinth, there to bide for eternity. Yet Anas begged aid of Heth, god of death, who was lord of the labyrinth, and so did he make his escape from that jail. Judge Bergen. Judge Magister of the Arcadian Imperial Army, director of the Second Bureau. A warrior by training, he has a personal affinity for weapons and combat. His experience with warfare has positioned him as the Empire's preeminent judge overseeing invasion and military envoys. A staunch supporter of Lord Vane, Also a believer in administration by force, he has dedicated his life to ensuring Vane's aspirations come to fruition. Rook. Imperial armament. Dr. Sid has been working on developing thought-driven combat weapons called Rooks for some time now. Test models saw their first combat use in a recent incident at the Draklor Laboratory. 3 new models have been produced based on data collected during the Draklor Laboratory incident. Draklor CB-56 Remora fighter. Small fighter airship of the Imperial Army. Gun turrets placed on the keel and turrets on the deck make this an effective weapon against air and ground threats. A mainstay of the Imperial armored forces gather with the newer CB-58 Valfair fighter. The initials of the craft's designer, Dr. Sid, and the year of its production adorn the hull. Dr. Sid, chief of the Draklor Laboratory, the top-secret weapons laboratory at the Arcadian Empire. Full name, Sidolphus Chief of the Draklor Laboratory, the top-secret weapons laboratory of the Arcadian Empire. Full name, Sidolphus Demen Bonanza. Age 58. Pursues a program for manufacturing nephesite, a variety of magicite with the property of absorbing magical energy. Friend of Vane, though their ages are different, they share many of the same ideals and beliefs. Oh, I skipped over one. Banga. Humanoid race, their bodies covered in small hard scales with distinctive long drooping ears. Banga are nimble and strong, living up to twice as long as the average Hume. In matter and intelligence, they greatly resemble Humes, and as such are the most integrated of the humanoid races in Hume society. Even so, some Humes call the Banga lizards behind their backs, but this is considered a slur and is likely to deeply offend any Banga within hearing. Nameless Inkings. It was a clement day when my partner and I arrived at Nabudus at the end of a long journey. I remember looking upon her beautiful, welcoming streets and realizing no other place could be more fitting a destination. Gathering up what coin we had, we secured residence and began to look for work. From odd jobs to risky border patrols, we did all and were satisfied. Thinking on it now, I realize I was happy then. We made it. I was able to read all of that shit. Where's their save point? Shit. I must find a save point. Farewell. Compared to how it was, this town's become nigh unrespectable thanks to Redis. Still, there's some who resent what he's done here. Turns a cold eye to those who disturb the peace, that's why. Simply to gaze upon the sea's beauty cleanses the heart. Nothing there was so blue in my home. For the first time, I'm glad of my journey. Oh, me belly's aching something fierce. Ate one mackerel too many. I don't much care for the way Redis runs things around here. Why line the Empire's pockets? We can defend ourselves. Bah! Traveler, are you? If you follow the shore to the south, you'll reach the Redis Manse. Head east and you'll find the town proper. Well, I think I just hit a quick save. And if anything, like, there's definitely been a quick save since the boss fight and everything. But I'm gonna risk it because I'm tired as hell. But yeah, like I said, I will be on earlier, way earlier tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of vacation. It is the last day of Ivalice week. However, if it is not the day that I beat Final Fantasy XII, then it is not the last day of Final Fantasy XII. I will be delaying my current projects just to finish. Well, I'll be delaying the horror games basically to finish this game. That would mean I would be playing this game. Well, this week it would be Tuesday. Yeah, it would be Tuesday this week. And normally it would be Monday, Tuesday, and hopefully Saturdays, but this week just Tuesday. All my other projects will go as planned. This Monday is Bree's return to Sonic. She'll be finishing Sonic Advance 3, most likely. But yeah, we're gonna see how tomorrow goes. If I do have to continue this game, maybe I'll actually try to do the hunts. So, because right now I'm in a rush, but if I don't make the deadline, then there's stuff I'd like to go back and check out and see if I can finish, especially now that I'm a much higher level. But yeah, I'm done. Appreciate everyone coming in and watching. I am looking forward to this next section of the game a little bit. A little bit. Some of these fights are getting a little. I'm a little worried for the future. Might get a little challenging. Anyway, I'm done. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye. I always forget. I should probably end the game. There you go. And then I can end the stream.